Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are breaking down my track Gone in the studio, going track by track, explaining how I made the song. So this is Gone. It is there's a lot of tracks in here, 91 tracks. I think almost every single one being used. I made the very poor decision of not labeling anything, so I'll tell you what they are as we go. So it starts off with acoustics, and it's funny. This track, I wrote it on acoustic guitar, but I kind of wanted to be a bit more rock than acoustic, and the intros and stuff kind of started sounding a little bit more acoustic, but then I kind of mixed a bit more electric into it to kind of give it a little bit more edge. So let's take a listen to this. Got the intro right here. We'll go through this. So we have audio 1 through 6 is our electric guitars. It's 4 electric guitars, and all the electric guitars that you hear in here are recorded on my Fender Hot Rod Deluxe 3 from my Fender Stratocaster over there. Almost all of them are either on the clean or dirty setting, and if I wanted a little bit more dirt, I would add it on as a plugin inside of Logic. With these, if you can see right here, the only thing actually going on is, I'm surprised actually, I must have forgotten to EQ these 3 over here, but this one right here has a little bit of low end EQ. I was talking to a guy that I know, his name is Matt, he was the sound engineer for my concert. He recommended rolling off all the low end, if you have a lot of guitars, all the low end under like 200 hertz for all the guitars, just because the way the amps work, there's a lot of air being pushed under there, and it just creates this big woofy sound that you don't really need. So a lot of guitars don't need sound down there, so you lower that. We also got a shaker going on, recorded by good old Manny, the drummer in my band, which we'll get into the drums in a sec after we talk about the electric guitars and acoustic guitars. But then we got 4 acoustic guitars being layered. We can listen one by one. Then these are all recorded on a custom Martin, I think it's a HD20. It's a friend of mine's that I borrow for all my recording. Then I mic with my Neumann. So when you add these together, and then let's talk about bass, because that's all we have right now in the intro right here. So let's talk about bass. Bass is recorded DI, which means direct input right into my Focusrite. So if I were to turn everything off on the bass right here, this is what it sounds like. Then adding a little saturation from the little radiator. Then we got a tuner, which I was just, because I was tuning. We got bass amp. Got a bit of EQ pushing here. Around 59 hertz and pulling it around 149. You'll see that the kick drum is pretty much the opposite of that. This sub bass added so much depth, with and without. Just add some serious depth. Okay, that's the intro right there. And we got some drums. Let's talk about the drums really quick. So the drums were originally Logic drums that I used as AI, just kind of setting the track. Which sound like this. So actually, this would be the original drum kit sound and rhythm with if Manny, my drummer, didn't come in, and I'll tell you what we did after that. This is the original drum sound. But we decided to go like this. Slightly different feel, a little less than the hi-hats and stuff. So what we did is Manny came in and I have an electric drum kit over here, and we tracked all the drums where he actually played them onto the song and played what we felt would be the right sound, and then I went in and mixed them a bit. So like we chose the drum sounds we wanted. We I added I mixed the sounds, added compression here and there to certain things to get the drum sound that we wanted. And originally this track actually had drums in the first verse. So if we listen, this is it. We're coming on a year now. Would have thought that it would hurt less. According to Manny, though, we recommended just taking the drums completely out. Out of tears, or is this all part of the process? So then bass comes back in right there, acoustic guitars are still in, shaker comes back in, and let's talk about the vocals really quick. So, very proud to say, this is one of the first, I think I actually did this, I might have done it with like Christmas songs here, but no at all vocal correction. All real vocals in the sense that there's no pitch correction here. I don't think that there's even timing corrections in here. I think this is all raw, because I think you can actually hear right here. Now, would have thought that it would hurt less. Am I running out of tears, or is this all part? I don't exactly remember where, but there's one part in here that is slightly early, but yeah, you've really got to listen to it. So what we got going on here, on the vocal chain, we have an EQ, taking the low end out, but bumping a bit of the mid-highs. We have a compression going on. A year now, somewhere on around like 2, 3. And then we have this, we have the CLA vocals. I used to in the past, and then I kind of stopped using it because it just gave a very right sound and it wasn't necessarily what I was going for. I was having such a hard time mixing these vocals in this song, like trying to get the right sound. So finally, I, after just a lot of time, finally came through. So this is without it. Obviously it's quieter, but coming on a year now, would have thought that it would hurt less. So now in the chorus we have the main vocal right here. Cause you're gone. Ping pong delay with some ducking. Home, so and I actually have layered vocals in here. Cause you're gone. Never coming home, so am I wrong? So 3 air vocals. And then later you'll actually hear a harmony, which would be right here. Very, very quiet. God, never coming home, so am I wrong? Am I wrong? You hear that? To keep your number in my phone, whenever time it rings, hate the feeling that it brings, because you're gone. Cool, so those are the vocals right there. The side vocals, pretty much the same thing to each other. A lot of low end taken out. And pumping the high end. I like pumping the high end on the side vocals. CLA vocals as well. A bit more reverb, I think. Spread pretty heavy. Taking out the low end of it. And then no reverb on them outside of the CLA. This reverb in the CLA vocal. Let's talk about the electrics. We got the acoustics, same acoustics going. We've got the same electrics going as the intro with these. These are acoustics. These are strummed acoustics now. 4 strums. We got 1. Let's go one by a time. Left. Hard left. Hard right. Now we have mid right, which this is bothering me over here. I always keep the left on top. I don't know why I had that. So let's go left. Right. Add them together. Those are actually pretty low in the mix. So now we go down to my favorite part. The electric guitars. What do we got here? We got these 2. We only have, actually, I'm surprised, 2 electric guitars in this first chorus. These are dirty, baby. Dirty. So let's show what you got. All we got is EQ. On these 2 electric guitars, all we got is EQ. So if we were to turn the EQ off, this is what it originally recorded from the amp sound like on my Shure SM57. Shout out to the Campos family who donated that to the Jacob Restituto Music Fund, I guess. So you can hear just a little brighter. We also have this very hidden in the background E-piano sound that I recorded with my Korg mini log, which I made this sound, which I love this sound. It's such a cool sound. I saved it on my mini log because I want to use it in the future stuff. It's like this really cool E-piano. So that's repeating throughout there. You can very slightly hear it. Very slightly. So now as we get to the instrumental, we have a third electric guitar being introduced right here. So if we list a 2 and we have a third being introduced. This one right here. Now we get to the crazy parts. We have palm muted electrics panned left and right. So this one, again, these have EQ, and one of them has a little bit of overdrive on it, logic overdrive. So if we were to turn everything off, this is what it would sound like straight from the recording. Straight amp. Now if we turn the EQ back on, a little brighter. Now we'll turn this overdrive on. Just a little fatter sounding. Here the timing's a little funky. Not the timing, I guess the rhythm, I guess is a better word. And then we have this, which is a synth going on from my keyboard over here, my mini log. So if we were to turn this off, this is the original sound. Now I put a high pass filter on it, took the high end off, and then added a bunch of different echoes, reverb, and fuzz. All these things are so subtle in the background. Bass still going on. Getting funky on the bass. So we got this synth going on. I stinking love this chord log, man. It's the best. I use this on everything. Turn it off. This is what the original sound was. Added tremolo. Added high pass, low pass filter. And then added reverb. Now we also have a piano in there introduced in the chorus. That I played in on as MIDI. We got a couple more electrics going on. And then we got the main lead of the electrics. Two electric guitars actually. So you can hear what we got going on with this, as we have one has echo, actually two have echoes, two different types of echo. Replica XT is my favorite echo. I use it on almost everything. Computers must be running a little slow. But this is Baby Come Back as another echo. We got a little bit of chorus going on, and then we got overdrive going on the other. We turned everything off. This is what it originally sounded like. Everything on. That's EQ on, overdrive on, and echo. Now, sorry, overdrive and chorus. Now this echoes are on. Cool. Now let's go to the second verse. Everything kind of pulls out. We also have this actually, this strumming at the electric. Acoustics are keeping a lot of the rhythm here. Actually, if you were to take the acoustics out, listen without the acoustics. A very cool rhythm. Without. Just rhythmic fullness. That's why acoustics are actually considered rhythmic instruments as opposed to melodic instruments. So now we just have acoustics in the second verse, as well as the pulsing synth. Again, where do you think? From the mini log. Turn it all off. This is what it sounds like. Tremolo and EQ. Okay, let's talk about this. Nice electric guitars going on over here. I really like when these come in. It's just this nice fullness. So dirty and so full. Very cool. It was fun tracking with Manny. It doesn't get necessarily the fullness of maybe a real kit, but it was cool. He's just literally right next to me, and I can just direct him as we are, as opposed to him being like in a studio. Or I don't know. That's the cool part about it. We got a couple like electric guitars going in the second chorus, new ones. Let's see what we got. We got this guy right here. We got solos actually, without any effects. Drives giving a bit more punch, brightness with the EQ. Then we have a second one coming in right here. Track these again with my hot reel. Again, these are in the background. Now I got these new electrics over here. New melody kind of thing going on. These are just EQ. So a lot of what we're hearing with the guitars is straight from my amp, which is really cool, man. Like, I don't even have pedals plugged in. This is straight Fender amp distortion. A lot of it's just a little bit of EQ. Just to clean it up a bit. Then we come to one of my favorite parts right here is the instrumental with this synth that comes in. Listen to this synth. This is so cool. Just creates such a vibe, man. Without the EQ. With the EQ. Just a little warmer. got some of this. Back. And you can hear this very far background vocals going on over here. Now the vocals, let me actually talk about the vocals. The vocals are, well, I said they're not pitch corrected, they are comped. What that means is I went through and recorded a bunch of takes and took the best of each take. Here, they were chopped up a little bit just because I wanted to change a couple of details. No pitch correction, just a little chop of like changing the order or taking a section out. So I guess technically comping. So like technically this gone is the same one as this gone. Hear that? It's far in the background. There you go, baby. That's the track. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Can you hear the intricacies within the original compared to the breaking it out? Let me know what you think. God bless. Have a great day.